This is Town Square Sunday on demand. And now, 1420 WBSM's Jim Phillips.
It's coming up fast. I'm speaking about the United Way's Hunger Heroes Food Drive Springtime Edition. United Way volunteers and others will be collecting food donations outside Aldi's supermarkets at the Dartmouth Mall on Saturday, March 23rd. But unlike the food drop in November, the items they're collecting are a little bit different this time. Victoria Grasela, the United Way's Vice President of Marketing and Community Engagement, joins us this morning to talk about the Spring Edition Food Drop. Good morning, Victoria.
Good morning, Jim.
Okay, so we talk about this quite a bit. Mm-hmm. You and I are familiar with these steps, but the public may not be. So for those of you who are interested in helping your community, helping people, this is one way you can do it. We'll start off, Victoria, with what's different about the spring edition of the food drop.
Yeah, so Jim, we've been doing Hunger Heroes now for 10 years in the fall, if you can believe it, around Thanksgiving. So people mostly know our Hunger Hero efforts to make Thanksgiving meals. For the spring, we started this 4 years ago. This will be our fourth annual one, where we're packing meals for kids who rely on the schools for meals. Unfortunately, there are a lot of kids in our communities who, they're getting breakfast at school, they're getting lunch at school. And when the school is closed on the weekends or the school is closed for the vacation, they're not getting much food. So this is our way to try and fix that. For a lot of students in our area. So we are packaging 1,000 kid meal packs. They'll go home to kids that are identified by the schools as needing that extra food. And they will have, those low prep, no prep items in it, things like mac and cheese, peanut butter and jelly, granola bars, cereal that they can kind of pick at throughout the week. So that way they'll have something if they're going home with no food. So that's what makes this effort really unique, is making sure that we're taking care of those kids that just aren't getting everything they need over break. Because as you and I know, Jim, inflation has been really tough on people. And so, families are struggling more than ever.
So you mentioned a couple, but what types of items are you looking for?
Yeah, so we're looking for, again, those items that are easier for kids to make themselves or with little, supervision, or an adult that has a free moment. So peanut butter and jelly that they can easily put on crackers, they can put on bread, any of those things. It could be cereal, any type of cereal. The healthier, the better, though, is what I will say. Those cereals have a lot of sugars in them. So if you get something a little bit healthier, that's appreciated. Mac and cheese. That's a staple in every kid at home. That's my nephew would live on mac and cheese if he could. Fruit and applesauce cups and granola bars are really those things that we're looking for.
All right, very good. And those are the items that will be put in these food baskets, if you will, mm-hmm. and they'll be then distributed to young people. We're going to talk about distribution a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And folks can drop off their donations at the Aldi's parking lot. Mm-hmm. That's where you'll have a truck there, table set up. People can just drive up, drop it off, and drive home.
Exactly. We make giving to this so easy. What's great about the Hunger Heroes efforts in general is that it's really a community-driven effort. So it's the community that's coming out and donating the food. It's the community that's sponsoring the events that allows us to have some additional dollars to buy food maybe that we didn't get enough of. And it's the community that are packaging these meals for the kids that they're going to get at the end of the day. But yeah, come by the food drop on Saturday. We actually have made it even easier than ever, because if you forget and you happen to be going to the Dartmouth Mall, or if you don't have time and you want to participate, you can just go right to Aldi. It's right there. They're going to have everything we need stocked right in the front of the store. That way you can purchase a couple of items off of our wish list and then just come right back outside and give them to us. And then we'll take care of boxing them up and then getting them where they need to go.
And what are the hours?
So we will be there from 10 a.m. to noon. And if you can't make it in that time, there are some other food drives that are going on throughout the community the next few weeks. So you could check out our website and see those other sites. But we're really hoping a lot of people will show up and rally around the 23rd.
Okay. Now, I'm here to tell you that these folks at the United Way, they're not sleeping. They're not taking a nap during the day. They are collecting food as we speak at 17 locations throughout the area. And where can people find a list of those locations?
So there is a full list of sites on our website at unitedwayofgnb.org. Also, if your company is listening, if you're listening and you're like, I'd love a way to get my employees more involved in the community, this could be it. This could be you're hosting a food drive. All you need to do is reach out to me. I can get you some posters, some collection bins, and then we can pick it up from you, or you can bring it to the food drop. It's just a really great way to give back. There's so many people that are struggling right now, and this is a great way to just help your neighbors.
Okay. What happens after you collect this food on Sunday at 12:10? Not Saturday. Saturday at 12:10.
Yeah. So after we get all the food, we will box it up. We'll store it for 2 weeks. And then on April 6th, we will be having our Hunger Heroes Community Volunteer Effort Day. So we'll have about 150 to 200 volunteers that will come out throughout the day. Registration will be opening and people can sign up for different shifts. What's great about this is that it's so kid-friendly. We have built it so it's really around the family coming out to volunteer, showing kids how much fun it is and how easy it is to give back. I know that there are kids, there was a little boy in the fall who was crying because he had to go home. His parents were making him leave at the end of his shift, and he didn't understand why he couldn't stay all day, just because it is a lot of fun. We make it fun throughout the day. So we will take all the food collected, we'll sort it by item type, so all the cereals end up together, all the peanut butter ends up together, and then we'll make an assembly line where the folks that are now packaging the meals will go through and make sure that meal has, that meal pack has every one of the items in it. We'll box it back up, and then we'll give it out to the school departments.
The public isn't invited to this other than if you signed up.
You have to sign up, yes.
Where is this?
So our sign up for registration is at volunteersouthcoast.org.
Okay, very good. You're listening to Town Square Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Victoria Grasela of the United Way, Greater New Bedford. We're talking about the Hunger Heroes Food Drop Spring Edition coming up Saturday, March 23rd. Now remember, this food drop is geared to young people who are home from school during the April vacation. They're not going to open a can of green beans. They should, but they're not.
But they probably will not.
The United Way are looking for donations of things like peanut butter, cereals, hopefully healthy cereal, water, juice drinks, things like that, things that kids can snack on. No glass bottles.
No
please.
Glass, because that becomes a mess, if you can imagine. We've had that a lot with pasta sauce in the past.
What other types of things are you looking for? Anything else?
Other things, any kind of kid-friendly snack that you can think of. We'd like to include the extras in there, too. So, if you're interested in getting some trail mix or dried fruits, of course, we want to stay as healthy as we can. We want to stay away from those more sugary items. But those are all the things that kids will quickly pick up. They'll grab that granola bar as a snack, and they'll be good to go for a while.
Okay, so you put together the 1,000
so they go in a nice little backpack.
All right.
So that way when they go home with the kids, it's easy for them to grab and throw on their back and not have to worry about lugging around a giant bag. Our first year we did it, they got this tote bag that was almost impossible for them to carry. So we have learned from doing these a few years. So these backpacks are perfect. They just slide right on and they've got everything they need.
How is it all distributed?
So it is all distributed through the school department. So it's a great question to ask. We get this all the time. So we work with all of the school districts in our area of Greater New Bedford. So we serve from Dartmouth up to Freetown and then over to Wareham. So I've been in contact with all of the school departments. They are talking with the principals at every school, identifying how many kids are in need in their school system. And then they'll be getting me those numbers. So approximately half of the meals that we package will go to New Bedford, just because it is the largest school district in our area, of course. And they have a significant amount of kids that are couch surfing, that are, maybe even living in a car. I mean, this is stuff that we're hearing all the time. And so they're identifying those kids that are truly in need of this food, that are not getting food anywhere else. So, that's how the kids are identified, is the schools decide on it. We'll get them the meals the following week. So we'll package on the Saturday. By Monday, the schools will have the meals and they'll get them out in time for school vacation week.
All right. There's also one other component here that you've had for years past, and that's the Amazon component.
Yes.
And you might say, what? You're going to be able to order a book or a dress or no.
Nope.
Not that.
It's not that.
Tell us what the Amazon component is.
So we've added in the Amazon component since COVID, and let me tell you how successful this is. Because a lot of the times, I have the best of intentions, let's say, of going to the food drop or picking up a couple items to drop at the United Way office. And then I forget because I get busy. I am guilty of this. I'm sure so many others do the same. But when I'm home at night and I'm watching TV and I'm scrolling through things and maybe I see on Facebook this Amazon code, I'm clicking on it, which is going right to the United Way's wish list that has all these items in it. And I find myself doing this now with other organizations. I actually saw somebody's wish list the other day and I bought a couple things off of it. It will send those items right to the organization. So all I had to do was click a couple buttons and my donation was made, and so now the organization will get that food. So we have it set up so if you're buying peanut butter, it's going to get sent right to our office. So it makes it easier for people that are on the go, that are maybe like me and a little bit forgetful. It just makes it a little bit easier. And that link can be found, I'm sure, at WBSM.com or on our website at unitedwayofgnb.org.
All right. It's an amazing service because people, they have a minute, they can do that and not have to think about it.
It makes it much easier.
And you're helping out a population that obviously you want them to stay healthy and thinking and all of that. So food for kids during the April vacation, good idea. Where can folks get more information, Victoria, about the Hunger Heroes food drop?
So you can find all the information about all of the community efforts around Hunger Heroes, again, at our website at unitedwayofgnb.org. There we have the information about the food drop, about other places that are collecting food in case you can't make it on the 23rd. That Amazon link is there, and then the link to register to volunteer is also all on that website.
Okay. What else we got cooking?
It's a busy season. You know that, Joe. I mean, hunger is obviously something that we care deeply about. We have our Hunger Commission, which has been in operation since 1995. We have a truck that goes around and delivers food. One of the things I did want to mention while we're on this topic of food is that the statistic right now is that 1 in 3 are hungry in Eastern Massachusetts. That's a really scary number. So when you think of that in terms of kids,
is that children or just everyone?
It's everyone. So if you think about that, though, as 1 in 3 kids sitting in a classroom, that's more than half the classroom it's more than half the schools that is going hungry. And that's why these efforts are so important to make sure that these kids are getting what they need. Because as you and I both know is, if they're not eating, now they're struggling in school, they may be struggling at home, they may be falling asleep in class because they don't have enough energy that they're getting from this food. And so that's what makes these efforts so important. So, of course, our hunger, is front and center for us right now. We also have our grants are open right now, whether you're a community organization, a 501c3. We have our innovation challenge going right now. We have our community impact grants will be opening soon. And, my favorite is our Changemaker grants, which I know you had Sarah on the show recently to talk about. So those are the grants that are for all volunteer groups that, they're just looking to create some kind of change. Maybe they have this great idea, but they can't pay for it out of pocket. They don't have that extra cash hanging around. But we can supply up to $2,500 that they can use to complete these projects. So we've had anything from neighborhood cleanups. You may be familiar with Operation Clean Sweep. They got their start with one of these grants years and years ago where we helped purchase those supplies to get them the rakes, the shovels, the trash bags. And so that's just a really well-known one. And then we have others who are doing community gardens. They are, building ramps for kids to be able to get into different locations. The possibilities are really just unlimited. And it's all just a community member thinking about, well, what can I change because it's impacting me and it must be impacting others. So we're encouraging people to come to us for those grants. So those are our big things going on right now.
Okay. And Changemaker grants end when?
They end... Now you're really testing my memory, Jim. Yeah. They end the beginning of April. I don't know the date specifically offhand, but definitely the beginning of April. The grant, all the information is, again, on our website, and you can easily find all that there. The criteria is really open that you just have to have a great idea and want to complete it within a year. And that's what we're looking to fund.
Power of the Purse coming up in April.
Power of the Purse is coming up right on the heels of everything. Our Power of the Purse is our big fundraiser for our Women United initiative, which really focuses on early childhood literacy and school success. And so Power of the Purse is a play on words, of course. So we actually do have a purse auction, but it's letting people know that when you purchase the purse, that money goes towards putting books in our wash and read program. That's at a laundromat. And so kids can have access to free books every time they go to the laundromat with their parents. It's putting, our Bright by Text out there, which provides free tips and tricks and ideas of how to get your kids more engaged and follows their development through different stages. And so Power of the Purse is so important to help fund those efforts that we have going on year round.
All right. We won't get into May, June, July, August.
I'll come back for that.
Yeah. But she's a fountain of information, Victoria Grasela. Thank you, Victoria, for coming in.
Absolutely, Jim. Victoria, I'm happy to come in anytime.
Victoria has been my guest. She's the Vice President of Marketing and Community Engagement at the United Way. Good luck with the Spring Food Drop Saturday, March 23rd at Aldi's Supermarket at the Dartmouth Mall. We're looking for snacks for kids during the April vacation. And the food will be distributed during the through the schools, through the area schools, and hopefully a lot of kids will have something to snack on while they're home. Hopefully, not too many are alone, but we all know that there are kids who are alone during school vacation. So,
absolutely.
That's why the Hunger Heroes Spring Edition Food Drop is so important. Thank you once again, Victoria.
Thanks so much, Jim, for having me, and I look forward to seeing everybody on March 23rd.
Still more to come on Town Square Sunday. Stay with us.